Hello everyone, let's know about Delhi today. Do you know Delhi was not always like this massive, bustling city filled with concrete and noise? Its story actually starts with two really powerful natural features. Serene wide Yamuna River flowing past ancient forested Aravalli Hills with a small nearby settlement on its bank. First, there is the ancient Aravalli Range, one of the oldest mountain systems in the world which form the city's stony backbone close on the rocky ridge, weathered stone and ridge line. These hills, which we now call the Delhi Ridge, offered natural protection against invaders coming from the west. They also gave people the stone they needed to build forts. The ridge itself was once this rugged forested land, a wild place that sheltered the first settlements. Early settlements nestled the ground beneath us even now was shaped by these ancient weathered cities, a silent witness to centuries of change. And then, of course, there is Yamuna. Back then, it was wide, clean river flowing gracefully and nurturing the plains. Its fertile banks made it perfect for farming, which attracted the earliest civilization. But the river was not just a source of water; it was sacred. People worshipped it. Its presence pretty much decided where villages will be there. Its annual floods left behind rich silt and produced wheat, barley. Together, the river, the hills created this perfect a place where civilization could take root and thrive. The combination of the rugged ridge and gentle Yamuna made Delhi's location strategically brilliant. A time went on Delhi became this incredible prize that kings and emperors just had to have. One dynasty after another tried to build their capital here, leading seven cities of Delhi. Thomas in Lalkot, Chauhan in Lalkot, Tughlaqs in Tughlaqabad. Built their amazing forts and cities. They quarreled stone from the Aravalli Hills. Huge chunks of the ridge's forest were cleared to make room for palaces and urban areas. The land slowly at first, but it was happening. The wild, untamed land was being shaped by powerful rulers. The Yamuna River still played a huge role. Cities were always built around it, relying on its water for drinking, irrigation, and even transport. Wells to manage the water or bring the river bounty to their growing population. Around these fortified cities, there were vast stretches of farmland. So Delhi geography took a huge turn in the early 1811, the British decided to move their capital from Calcutta to Delhi. And this was not just a political shift, it was a massive construction project that would totally reshape the city. They planned a new city called New Delhi, designed by Edwin Lutyens. They picked a spot south of the old city of Shah Jahanabad, right on Raisina Hill, which is actually part of the Aravali Range. This choice put the New Delhi new center of power right on top of the ridge, a symbol of new era, one where human tried to dominate nature. Building New Delhi was a gigantic task. Huge part of the ridge was cut to make way for ground new called Rashtrapati Bhavan and the Secretariat. Wide straight avenues were laid out, cutting right through the old landscape. Lutein included plenty of greenery, the lined streets and big gardens. But just building the capital meant a huge transformation of the natural terrain. After India gained independence in 1947, Delhi faced a challenge, a massive influx of refugees from the city's population exploded almost overnight. To house all these new people, new colonies were built at a breakneck pace. Farmland that had surrounded the city for generations was quickly taken over into neighborhood urban areas. Archival photos, new housing colonies being constructed. Refugee, colo- Refugee colony Lajpat Nagar sprang up where there were once only farmlands. Delhi was no longer a contained city surrounded by farms, taking over the very land that had always sustained it. This period marked the end. The most significant victim was the Delhi Ridge, the city's green lungs. What was once continuous forest stretching across the city was fragmented into four separate parts. Large land were encroached upon by unauthorized construction. Similarly, the city's parks and open spaces shrank. Neighborhood parks gave way to community halls and parking lots. The Yamuna floodplains, the fertile lands along the river also fell prey to this. Huge construction projects like Commonwealth Games villages were built right on. As Delhi grew in size, it also grew as an economic hub. In the latter half of the 20th century, thousands of industries, both large and small, set up shop in and around the city, Okla, Narayana, Wajirpur. While these factories provided jobs and drove economic growth, they also became many of these units, especially the smaller unregulated ones, used outdated technology and paid little attention to environmental norms. They released they released toxic influence directly into the drains that flowed into the Yamuna. The economic boom also put millions of vehicles. The city's population aspired to own cars, motorcycles. The number of vehicles in Delhi exploded, far outspacing the. This led to perpetual traffic congestion. Cars, buses, trucks, often poorly maintained, would crawl for hours in traffic jam, burning fuel inefficiently and spewing out enormous amounts. The emission from this sea of vehicles, including nitrogen oxide, carbon monoxide, fine particulate matter, became a primary contributor to the city's deteriorating air quality. The dream of mobility had turned into nightmare. The cumulative effect of centuries of geographical change and decades of unchecked growth finally pushed Delhi over the. The city earned the grim distinction of being the world's most polluted city. This is not just about one type of pollution, it's a crisis on multiple the air, the water, the land. The most visible dangerous aspect is the air pollution, a thick grayish brown haze. The primary culprit behind Delhi's toxic air is particularly. These are tiny visible particles that can penetrate deep into the lungs and even enter the causing a host of diseases. The sources are numerous. Traffic, smoke from industries, dust down from construction. So compound by seasonal factors, stubble burning. Despite the daunting environmental challenges, its people have shown remarkable resilience adapting in pollution. Life does not stop even with the smoke hazards. People have learned to navigate this hazardous ingenuity fighting spirit. One of the most polluted days, the city's residents arm themselves. Schools declare smog days those days and do online classes. The daily air quality index reading has become live, dictating whether it is safe to go or not. Community groups organize tree planting, drive trying to restore small patches in their neighborhood. Legal battles fought in the courts. The struggle for survival is a testament to enduring hope that one day the city will restore